咗啦。咁 Hi, I'm
Morning.
David.
Morning.
This is my mum, Eleanor. Tomorrow's her birthday. She's going to be 91. Yes, so this is the last day when she's 90. How does it feel to be 90 for the last day? You will never be 90 again. So I'm reading my book, Thriving at Nature's Pace, my mum. It's about a new approach to climate change. It's about how you can shape your own future, and by doing that, the world can become better. So, and that's how we can think about climate change and what we can do with that. So, I've been reading this for a while now. So it's all together on the playlist. So if you like it, please go through the other ones and join us in that way. And do recommend it. I haven't really promoted this, but if you do like it and you want to carry on and promote it, then please do. Thank you very much if you do. So this carries on from the part about what needs to be done. And we've been talking about how there are different approaches, and the basic idea is actually that we can, the basic idea that's introduced at the moment is the idea that oil and gas and coal are obviously the things that we need to use, but we really don't have any control over it. So the idea that there can be simple contracts that you can buy, which you can allow you to control what you want to use or don't want to be used by anyone in that way. We call those Thrive contracts. And the way you can do that is that you can either have them so that you produce for you, or you can have them so that you can basically partner with the idea of nature and return them to nature in exchange for nature's money. So it introduces a new money in that way. So effectively, it's like changing your money from your own currency into nature's currency, which if many people like that, then they can support it and use it just the same in that way. And of course, in the middle of doing all of that, you can allow businesses to be created, you can allow jobs to be created and all those things as well. So let's carry on. Nature is always important in indigenous cultures. This aspect of being part of an emergent economy that thrives at nature's pace may have particular appeal. It also allows them to be pioneers, and this can give opportunities for them to bring their indigenous wisdom to broader audiences. This makes them leaders at a time when people are looking for new directions. This suggests how Thrive contracts can be embedded into the financial industry. This industry brings money and businesses together. It makes it possible for ideas to be turned into projects and projects into goods and services for people everywhere. Investors borrow money to start projects and pay it back gradually through the revenues they receive. Imagine a coal or gas plant. The owners may be interested in replacing the coal plant with renewable energy plant as it nears its end of life. The problem with this is that the power plant may close, but the coal and gas will still be produced. Thrive contracts can connect projects with investors who are interested not only in renewable energy, but seeing that selling gas and coal to nature raises the value of their projects. Financial engineering can bring the owner of the gas and coal, the investors who are putting up the money, and the existing power plant owners together to ensure that all parties make profits by keeping the gas and coal that will no longer be used in the ground. Crucially, this makes money for the financial industry also, so that the more they do this, the more money they make. For the financial industry, this kind of financial engineering and intermediation are the bread and butter of its business. It can create generic overlays that bring multiple parties together. These can be seamlessly applied to many other situations. It can become a new way of lending. Thrive bonds. Whenever someone needs to borrow money for some projects, they can now tap into a Thrive bond. These financial structures would allow Thrive contracts to reach into lending for home purchases, car loans, and even college funds to spread economics that thrives at nature's pace. Sovereign wealth funds can be very interested in these activities. Many of these funds were created by governments to invest the excess revenues from oil and gas and coal production. Many countries that are opening up exploration and extraction of oil and gas, such as Guyana, are looking to create sovereign wealth funds. They invest for all generations. This gives them a natural interest in thriving at nature's pace. It also makes sense for sovereign wealth funds to invest broadly across the world. Limiting their investments to their own specific country or geographical region runs the risk of putting all their eggs in one basket. It is particularly risky in the face of climate change. For example, Europe has seen 20 countries destroyed by the same flood at the same time. This emphasizes how funds need to diversify their investments across regions. There is no telling where the risks are with climate change or where the returns will come from. Smart investors will invest everywhere. Norway, for example, owns Equinor. It is largely state-owned oil and gas business. This has provided the revenues for the country's sovereign wealth fund, Norges Bank Investment Management. This is a large fund with over $1.7 trillion under management. Norges Bank Investment Management and Equinor are both controlled by the Norwegian government. The government can allow the two to partner directly together. Equinor can create Thrive contracts to sell to nature, and the joint ventures would benefit from the Thrive coins. Together they invest for the future of Norwegians by investing in countries around the world. The Wealth Fund is now increasing the country's economic connections and developing new jobs away from its oil and gas industry. Financial engineering with Thrive contracts can create multi-party investments where investors, sovereign wealth funds, and oil and gas and co-owners can co-invest together in regions that do not have oil and gas and still keep them in the ground. The same structuring approach can also help to ensure the supply of oil and gas and coal for projects that need it. The current world is seeing all manners of disruption to global trade. Whichever way one would like to look at it, commodities will become scarce. The pressures from demand and the disruptions on supply will be complicated by a deluge of tariffs and other barriers. Oil, gas, and coal will not escape this. Thrive contracts are contracts on actual amounts of oil and gas and coal in the ground. People who have long-term needs for them can use the contracts to guarantee their supply. This will protect them from violent fluctuations in the price of oil, gas, and coal, giving them greater security. This also opens up the possibility of benefiting from choosing between different types of oil, gas, and coal. It takes different amounts of energy to extract, transport, and refine oil, gas, and coal from different places. This results in widely varying amounts of embedded emissions to produce the same amount of energy that can be used. Financial structuring with Thrive contracts can make it possible for people to swap higher emission oils for lower emission ones. This can keep the higher emission ones in the ground. These differences can be substantial. Venezuelan crude oil, for example, produces 10 times more carbon dioxide over its production life cycle than Norwegian crude oil for the same amount of energy produced. Financial structuring can enable projects to take supply from Norway and sell the oil from Venezuela to nature, with both countries appropriately compensated. This aligns the economic incentives with climate objectives. It brings investors, project participants, and owners together to shape their own roadmaps. However, this is not a free lunch. It is possible because people are willing to share the value created with nature and each other. It is said that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. This applies also to financial technology. The investment industry is the magician that can take the benefits of Thrive contracts to the whole economy, pivoting it to thrive at nature's pace. The potential is limited only by imagination. Nature's currency, the Thrive coins, are also part of this magic. Their power is also limited only by imagination. They can become a currency that is widely accepted, music festivals, sporting events, conferences. The profits can be used to sell more Thrive contracts to nature to earn more Thrive coins. The world has always been imaginative about how it can thrive. Thrive contracts make it different from what it did before. The source of thriving now comes directly from a contract with nature to keep it untouched. The more this contract is reinforced, the more nature guides and stimulates people to imagine thriving at its pace. So that's the end of that chapter. And the next one is actually more about the Thrive contracts themselves. So thank you very much. There you go. I'm reading Thriving at Nature's Pace with my mum. On the last day, she's going to be 90. So tomorrow will be great after I actually come and find whether I can get a cake or something. But anyway, so bye-bye for now.
Bye.
And so there you go. And the streaming.